Thanks, Kareem. Thanks, Admiral. The Kremlin spokesman said today that the bringing up this issue of the Russian anti-satellite capability is a ploy by the White House to pressure Republicans in Congress to pass the supplemental and get aid to Ukraine. What's your reaction to that claim?
Rolex.
Just one more thing, if I may. Thank you for that answer. Last night, the leaders of Australia, Canada, and New Zealand issued a statement warning Israel against any offensive in Rafah, saying it could be devastating and catastrophic. These are some of the closest US allies and part of the Five Eyes group, obviously. Can you tell us why the United States thinks differently to them and still feels that it's possible that Israel can offer that may be able to offer a credible plan for an offensive that can protect civilians?
I don't see a whole heck of a lot of gap between what they've been saying and what we've been saying. I mean, I can't speak for them. I can just tell you that we continue to believe that under the current circumstances, without a credible plan, as the president said, to account for the more than 1 million Palestinians that are down in Rafah, make sure that they have a place where they can be safe and secure and out of harm's way. Without that credible plan, a major operation in Rafah would be a disaster. We agree with that. And we're continuing to talk to our Israeli counterparts about what that plan might look like.
Okay. John, thank you. Going back to what you were saying to Peter about satellites, life as we know it revolves around satellites, and it sounds like something would be greatly impacted or even gravely if these satellites were attacked. When and how and why would the national security threat right now go up higher if something begins to move in a different direction? Can you tell us when that and why would it go up higher?
It's difficult to answer that question at this point when we're talking about a capability that we don't believe is active and not deployed. We will engage directly. We plan to engage directly with the Russians about this, and as well as allies and partners. And as I said, we'll continue to work through what our next steps and our approaches might be. I don't want to minimize the potential here for disruption should there be an anti-satellite capability of any significance. It could affect services here on Earth. There's no question about that. That's why we are taking this so seriously.
And lastly, as we're dealing with this and looking at the complicated relationship that the United States has had with Russia, and you say you're going to go into conversations, do you really trust Russia when it comes to the satellite?
There's no issue of, it's not about trusting. And I think our record on dealing with Russia appropriately, I think, is pretty well established. It's not about blind trust with Russia. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Is it trust but verify?
Look, we're not in a position where we're trusting what's coming out of Russia. What they say, we watch what they do. And we analyze what they do, and then we make our own decisions, our own policy decisions about what we're going to do based on their actions or their inactions.
Yeah.